afternoon and welcome to today's edition of The Buzz, the social media program on television. My name is Patience Belokafo. Welcome you this lovely Tuesday afternoon. It's the 2nd of October 2018. And of course, we're, well, I dare say, we're all still basking in the euphoria of Nigeria's 58th independence anniversary. Joining me on the program this afternoon, I have a friend, a dear brother. He's a filmmaker, a scriptwriter, screenwriter, and also a social commentator, Mr. Femi Durojaye. Good afternoon, Mr. Femi.
Good afternoon, Patience. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Wow, I see we are all on suit. You guys should have given me like a heads up. I would have done something too. Anyways, I have a senior colleague at the table too. He's a renowned journalist with the Guardian newspapers, Mr. Chuks Nwanne. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. All right, still to come on the show today, we're waiting for a business and financial consultant in the person of Mr. Segun Sokwito, and we hope he'll be here in the course of the program. Welcome again, gentlemen. All right, it seems to be happening a lot on the political space in Nigeria as we speak, particularly for Lagos State, as today is the APC direct primaries. Even though it looks like word on the streets, people already know what the result is. I don't know how Nigerians do that. I mean, the results come before even the elections. I don't know how it happens. But anyways, we're kickstarting the show talking about the governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode's World Press Conference on Sunday, where he accused his challenger in the person of Babajide Sanwo-Olu of being unfit and not proper to be the next governor of Lagos State. Let's quickly take this clip. We'll come back and talk.
However, dear Lagosians, it has become necessary for me to address you in view of the events of the last 2 weeks, particularly media reports in respect of the imminent APC governorship primary election in Lagos State. The last 3.5 years have witnessed tremendous improvements in our security apparatus and a significant drop in the incidence of crime in our state. However, the current political situation has caused palpable tension and unnecessary fears among law-abiding Lagosians. Security reports available to the state government indicate that there's an ongoing recruitment and army of political thugs to disrupt the tranquil atmosphere of Lagos State in the guise of holding primary elections. Consequently, the state government will do all within its powers in collaboration with relevant security agencies to protect all our citizens and insulate them from any condition that may breed insecurity or the breakdown of law and order in these states throughout these primaries, the campaign and election periods that are coming forward. Without being immodest, after 3.5 years of remarkable progress and remarkable performance in bringing growth and development to our dear states, I have humbly expressed my intention to seek re-election in order to consolidate on the giant strides that we have recorded for our dear states and our great party, All Progressive Congress, APC. As for the other aspirants, of course, we welcome competition. Yes, it's an open space, but again, we will not take something that is of good assurance to allow us to fritter away the opportunity that our great party has, and then fritter that opportunity away, and then allow another opposition party to win Lagos. Beyond us, trying to fritter away the opportunity to allow us to continue to win and rule in Lagos State, we will be jeopardizing the Buhari Osinbajo ticket, of which I am 100% standing for. by wanting us to start, promoting another aspirant that will not be able to sell the Buhari or Shibaju ticket. Now the truth is this. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've been putting a lot of campaign of car money in the social media and also disparaging our personality and our character. But when you see it, we've been extremely humble. We have never responded. We have never abused anybody because we believe that there's always a reason for us to come together as a family. We are one family in APC. Now the truth is this. The candidate, the aspirant that is being put up to compete against us is not a fit and proper person to take this position. And they know the facts. This is the truth. Party leaders and even party members have been misled to understand that this is a better candidacy than myself. I have done everything in the last 3.5 years to serve people selflessly and to serve the poor. And that's why you see that most of the projects we are doing is about alleviating the sufferings of the poor. And the only way out for us is to continue to do that in the next 4 years. This particular aspirant, as you all know, you can go and check it, the records are there. This is somebody that has been arrested for spending fake American dollars in a nightclub in America. And he's been detained for months. And he knows that he has won mugshots for months before this whole thing was quenched. He is also known that he doesn't have the competence to do what he is being propelled to do. The records are there in Gwagara General Hospital. This is somebody that has gone for rehabilitation before. We don't want to go too far, but we know. Are we not? Now the truth is this. We don't want to talk about all the things that we know, but we know that our leadership should have a rethink. Because the truth is this: I will not stand here on the mandate of Lagosians and then allow our great party APC to fritter away that opportunity to put in somebody that the opposition will easily take out because of lack of credibility. So I plead with all our leaders, they should have a rethink. This is not about me, it's about the greater opportunities that APC stands to change the progress of Nigeria to a better place.
Welcome back from that very heated one there. And while that was on, third panelist walked into the studio. He is a business and financial consultant and is also chairman board of trustees of ACT Network, a good governance advocacy group. Mr. Segun Sokoto. Good afternoon, Mr. Sokoto.
Good afternoon,
Thank you for joining us.
I'm
happy you caught part of our dear governor's speech at the conference there. Anyways, today the APC will pick their governorship candidate who will run for governor in the next 4 years. And it looks like the national chairman of the party, talking about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu Jagaban himself, has the backing of Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
National leader of the
national leader, I wanted to say. Him alongside other APC chieftains seem to be behind Sanwo-Olu, and this sort of infuriated the incumbent governor, Ambode, and that is what we saw. Him opening a can of worms there. But then he did make some other allegations. Let's leave that of his opponent by the side first and deal with other allegations. He mentioned the ongoing recruitment of political thugs, which is what's currently happening in the APC. It looks like the internal crisis of this APC will never end. How do you react to this, Mr. Femi Jode?
Is is the trademark of APC from the time they are known, to have thugs, to fight, to kill each other at primaries. So if it's going to be reenacted now in the, what's it called, governorship, there's no surprise there. It's what they do all the time. The last one they have for the local government, is it local government or what? They killed somebody. They keep killing and killing and killing. That's why for those who are gentlemen and gentlewomen in Lagos, they think twice about going into politics because there's a fear that somebody will come to their house and kill them.
Okay.
You understand?
All right, Chooks, if political thuggery is a recurrent decima in our politics, why is the governor stressing on it at this point in time?
Patient, you know, I want to react to this in a different way. You know, I always tell people, I said, if you need somebody that will tell you the truth about yourself or tell you the truth about situations around you, go to your old secondary school friend, not university friend. They will look you in the eyes and they will tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Let me start by saying that that press conference was unnecessary. To me, there was no need for that. The show of force was unnecessary. First of all, how did Ambode become governor? Does he even have the moral right to be saying those things that he's saying? How did he become governor in Lagos State? How did he emerge? Because we are hitting up the whole thing. That's how this guy came in. And Lagosians have accepted you. And you have done 4 years. For whatever reason that they don't want you in, that's within your party. But to come out openly, to be talking the way he was doing, really, you know, it made us remember that we used to have a governor called Fashola in Lagos. You know, people don't have the same gift, but this is way off it. Because the root of the APC is in Lagos. If anything happens with APC in Lagos, that party is gone. And that's why you see that they've been pushing this election, because even the national body knows that if they implode, then they should kiss 2019 goodbye. He should understand that. In my own calculation, the governor of Lagos State is the second vice president of Nigeria. It's not written, but that's what it is. The people you are governing are complex people. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, expatriates from Chinese to whatever. We are all
with
here.
different levels of intelligence.
The thinking is different. You need to key into that. We had this similar scenario with Fashola in the first tenure, but you saw the way he managed it. People knew there were issues, but they were not sure what exactly is the problem until they found a way to deal with it, because this is within your political party.
Okay.
Because the challenge they have now is that whoever gets this ticket will find it difficult going into election.
Okay.
The unfortunate scenario there is that we have an opposition party that is even a problem to itself. The PDP is not organized. If I were to be a member of PDP, we'll win Lagos.
With what's currently
with what they are throwing up, you organize yourself, you can beat them in Lagos. Look at the result of the last election. The thing is closing. Before then, it wasn't as close as that. Ambode scored 800 and something. Jimmy Ambode got 600. Just
close.
Very close. So, I don't know why they should get to this level. Because if somebody else is saying this, maybe I'll listen to it. But even an Ambode who came into the same way is talking about parties. Was it not party that ganged up to bring you? Don't misquote me. He deserves to come back. If Ambode is not coming back, it's not because he has not performed. Okay. But because there are things he could have done better that he didn't do. And especially trying to put politics and governance together, which was what Fashola didn't do. He was doing governance. He stayed away from politics.
Okay. All right, let me take it from where you said he deserves to come back. I mean, it's become part of our political culture, you know, to do second term. So depriving Ambode,
but that's what I'm saying,
seemingly of this, don't you think it's an injustice of some sort, especially since he has mentioned issues bordering on godfatherism? You know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, so the way to look at this is, first of all, addressing what you're talking about right now. For anybody that is in politics, you must understand that it's about consensus, it's about bridge building, it's about negotiation, it's about give and take, horse trading, and all of that. If you don't know how to do that, you will not succeed in politics. It's just the unfortunate truth. Now, there are several levels that an incumbent will need to go through before you can say, come back again for a second time. It's not automatic. There's like somebody was saying, I think it was maybe Adams or Shomel or somebody. There's nothing like an automatic ticket. It doesn't really exist. Why? Because one way or the other, even if you are going by the way of consensus, you will have to build that consensus with certain people before they then say, okay, this is your second time, or yeah, go.
All right.
You understand? So after you get through the issue of consensus, if you want to do primaries, you still have to appeal to certain people, whether delegates or the general membership of your party, before you come to the general electorate. So does Ambode deserve to come back? Does he, has he merited it?
In terms of performance?
In terms of performance, it's a matter of opinion. If you ask me, I would say, well, why not? He hasn't done so poorly. He's gotten quite a number of things very wrong. And I think that's why he's having this problem now. Just like he said, there's some politics that he's tried to play with governance issues. The issue of the PSP slash Visionscape and all that, we spoke about it the other time on this same show. It was a major faux pas on his part. He missed it badly there, and he's still missing it. Now it's raining, and unfortunately for him, very close to elections, all the roads, well, not all, but majority of the roads, wherever you live in Lagos, they are all covered in potholes. What happened to the regular road maintenance culture that Fashola left behind? You know, so of course, he's done some things very well. The laybys, what is done, the laybys for me is enough. The flyover bridges is done in certain places. The impact is had on traffic management in Lagos and what that can do to the economy in terms of man hours that he saved is fantastic. So you can balance his performance, but he's getting it wrong politically, and it's such a shame. The press conference he has held, he's gone. Well, I won't say he's gone too far. I wouldn't have gone that far. But I know that in politics, it's like all is fair in love and war. Yeah. So you know, whatever you can throw out, let the other party also
I think what necessitated him having a press conference is part of what he said, and I quote, "We have never responded to the campaign of calumny on social media." Of course, you and I know he's been bashed left, right, center. You know,
so what do you want?
So this was his own way of.
What do you want Ambode to do? What do you want him to do? The party chieftains, they have said so many things. The social media is awash with alleged misconduct and all that. And you expect a man that is going into a primary election not to see anything? What will he say? He will deploy an army of social media, whatever. The press conference that he had is in order. We have to hear his own part of the story.
Okay. Yeah, but you understand? He didn't give his part of the story in that press conference. He went after.
No. He first said they have done so well.
Even though he didn't mention names. Everybody knows.
Excuse me. What I'm saying is, this man said they have achieved this, they have achieved that, they have achieved this. And then this is political, this is election time. For God's sakes, right? Ambode has been attacked in the social media that he has done this, he has not done this. He's saying, look, the person that is going to compete against me is telling Lagosians, this is the kind of person he is. And we deserve to know, as Lagosians, if a man has had psychiatric evaluation, and we don't know, and they say his record is at General Hospital, let us go and check it. Whether the man, maybe the man is still on treatment. Let's go and check it. If they say this man was spending fake dollars in nightclubs in America and he was arrested for it, let's check the records. We cannot have a criminal in Alausa. Let's check it.
All right.
What is wrong with the statement? Nothing is wrong with this.
Well, to a large extent, unsolicited information put out there by the government.
Yes.
How does this have any impact, if at all, on the outcomes of today's primaries?
Let me.
Okay. Who goes first?
Let me say one thing. See, we are media people. The way you respond to issues determines what happens next. That's why when they say silence is golden, it's not. When people say silence is golden, it means a lot. but you keep quiet. Even if anybody, I know people have been attacking Ambode. But like I said, he has done well. He has really done well. If you put all the governors in Nigeria, I don't think there's any governor in Nigeria that has done what he has done. But he needs to understand that this is Lagos. A lot is expected of you in Lagos. You have done well, but there are things you didn't do well that led to this. Then going back to what issue you are raising, you know, Ambode needs to understand, and politicians generally need to understand that not all of us are politicians, but all of us are voters. When you are talking to politicians, there's a language you use to speak. When we are talking to voters, you also need to be very careful. You see, in this whole wahala that's been happening, a large percentage of voters who are not politicians were just watching. They're watching to understand what exactly is this. Let me tell you the truth, which I don't know if people tell him, the governor. That his address puts a lot of people off.
Like, not somebody like me.
No, not you.
No, not somebody like me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, because
they just need to know what is going on.
You have to.
I'm not a politician.
He's playing the kind of, maybe that's his own way. If somebody is abusing your social media,
playing dirty, isn't it part of politics?
No, but
I mean, we saw that with Trump.
That's what I'm saying.
In fact, we continue to see it with Trump.
What I'm saying, has that always been his character? So why do you want
the
to
man
learn?
has to fight.
Okay.
Why do you want to fight back?
Why do you want to learn?
This man is being portrayed in the social media as incompetent.
See what I'm saying, bros.
You don't want him to see anything. You are telling us that silence is golden. The voters' mind are being manipulated to go against somebody. I don't want him to speak.
This governor has media aid, he has commissioner for information, he also has access to the social media, he has access to influencers.
Yes.
He could have said a lot of things without being directly quoted to you.
It's too simple.
That you just use the way the people that were, has any of the people accusing him come to accuse him?
Somebody said somewhere.
So why do you want to learn how to use left hand?
Just like Chris is saying, somebody said somewhere that all Ambode needed to have done was to have leaked these stories.
Let people carry it. Not you. Not you.
That would have had no impact.
Yes. You can even deny doing that.
To me, it is another day of there. Primary election is in a few days' time. Social media has been bombarded with the shortcomings of Ambode. You understand? And then you are expecting him now to take a lame decision or just leaking the story. Let him come frontally and challenge the person that the leader of the party, one of the leaders of the party, has supported. That this your candidate is not fit to govern.
The same leader of the party that brought him in. When the Lagosians didn't want him.
Which Lagosians don't want him? Which Lagosians they don't want him?
Are you living in Lagos?
No, what I'm saying is matter of wanting him or not knowing him.
Not knowing him.
Not knowing him. Not knowing him, yeah.
Because to be fair,
Jagaban selects his people that he wants to be governor carefully. He makes sure that they don't have political base. If they have a political base, they can challenge him, you understand, and take away his godfatherism, right? Ambode falls into that level. Ambode is not just your ordinary person. This man rose to be the Accountant General of Lagos? You understand? This man is a man that has done well in civil service. You understand? He has risen to the top, to the very top in the civil service. It's not just anybody. It's the person that is challenging that the party people are supporting. Meaning, easy.
Okay, let's see how our viewers are reacting to this story. Good afternoon, Patience. Honestly, I do not support Ambode's personal... Am I sounding hollow? I'm sorry, I have a cold, so... All right. Honestly, I do not support Ambode's personal attacks on his competitor, but it's time for Lagosians to start deciding who becomes their governor. I pray this will be the end of godfatherism in Lagos. You forgot to put your name. All right, this other one says, Ambode is disgracing himself by the press conference. If by now he's saying Sanwo-Olu is a criminal, so he accommodated a criminal to serve under his cabinet. Exactly. Was there no record to show for this before? Why now? I would like to remind you guys that Tinubu was accused of being a drug baron, and he made a lot of people today. All right, I wouldn't blame Ambode for the World Press Conference. He needed to show firmness and doggedness. However, he probably has exhausted the medium of negotiations with a bigwig of the party. If APC refuse to give Governor Ambode ticket, surely they will lose Lagos because Ambode tried for the masses. Julius Peter sent that one in. Good afternoon. Ambode is the man we want for second term in Lagos State. I am not supporting anyone here. Why will Ambode be saying all this? Has he forgotten what he did to Fashola? Sometimes when you forget what you did to your fellow human beings, you'll be reminded. All right, this other one says, I'm 100% in support of Ambode. I believe he's one of the best governors in Nigeria because I have... in Lagos yesterday and today, I've seen a lot of changes in present-day Lagos. Godfatherism should be stopped in Nigeria. All right, more and more are coming in. Good afternoon. I'm very happy with second and third speaker. The first speaker is a PDP man. Who are we talking about?
Anyone that is not supporting this is automatically PDP.
All right, the best question to Ambode is, what has he done wrong to deserve the humiliation he claims to be passing through from the same people he benefited, as against the decisions of Lagosian and the party chieftains? Can you compare Ambode's project with Fashola's project? They are all inferior. This one says, good afternoon, panel. Ambode is the perfect candidate to serve as a Lagos State governor. God will disgrace Tinubu.
Oh.
John Omolachi. All right. I see that there's a lot of sentiment, a lot of passion, on the part of
the question you asked about the impact of this on the primaries and the eventual election is something that we need to think about. So for me, Ambode has gone in the wrong direction. His problem is not with Lagosians. The average Lagosian will vote for him if he's presented. Definitely. That's the reality. Definitely. But the people that he needs to take on is the party hierarchy. Yes. I have a lot of friends who are APC members and all that, and most of them are very passionate about their opposition to his return. I have a lot of friends who are civil servants in Lagos. A lot of them, I was speaking with one of them on Sunday, she was like, but they never, she was so passionate about it. And I'm like, why? He said that he's closed everybody out, he's a lone ranger. He's not allowed people to express themselves and all of that. So those are the people that alienating those are the people he should have addressed, and that's the constituency he needs to win over if he's going to win this election, not to be attacking his opponent.
Okay, just quickly, last words on this. What impact will this have on the primaries?
A lot. Okay. A lot beyond the primaries. A lot will happen to APC in the general election, based on what has happened. Yeah, because if the opposition, they are serious people, they should sit down and be listening on the vote from both sides. Whoever APC puts forward is going to have a difficult campaign, because now you are talking to the people. This is what if you come out and then the opposition now use it against you? He's fighting as if he's fighting the main election. This is just a primary within a family. You should settle family affair within the family, because you don't give away a lot against your family. That's what he has done. That's what both of them have done, both Ambode and the other people. Because they will go into this general election. I don't know how they will survive it, but I just hope they find a way to settle it. Okay. Like I said before, Ambode has done, I think he deserves to go and do his second tenure. Okay. But we hope he learned from some of these things.
From the mistakes. Yes. All right, Mr. Drujai, what impact will this have on the primaries?
A lot. As far as I'm concerned, since Ahmed Bola Tinubu has come out to express his support for Sanwo-Olu, there is no way Ambode is going to win that primaries.
He's not going to win.
There's no way Ambode is going to win the primaries. There is no way.
It's still open.
It's open, yeah, generally open, but there is no way. You have the 57 local government people supporting Sanwo-Olu.
But the senators also endorsed him.
What I'm saying here is that the leader of the party, as a godfather, the one that brought Fashola, the one that brought Ambode, is the one that brings in Sanwo-Olu. You understand? I said, is this Sanwo-Olu that he wants? In his own primaries, in that APC in Lagos, that is the person he supports will win. But it's a difference whether Sanwo-Olu, when he wins the primaries, will become the governor of Lagos. Lagosians are waiting. You understand? For what the press conference to me is perfectly in order. This man has everybody in the party mostly against him. He has to fight back and say, this is your Sanwo-Olu that you are pushing forward. Is not a fit candidate. For me, it's okay.
Okay, it looks like the crisis will never end with the APC. Live updates coming in, even as the primaries progresses. Crisis in major parts of Lagos. We hear that hoodlums have allegedly chased members away somewhere in Abeson, that's in Ikpaja, Alimosho local government. Also tight security at Ambode, Odo. And of course, about 5 hours ago, we heard that the president, Muhammadu Buhari, met with Ahmed Bola Tinubu ahead of the primaries. And